efficiently, I think it's worth using.
Okay. Senator Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Jacobs, looking forward to meeting with you. And I missed a lot of the hearing because we're marking up the defense bill, but I want to look forward to working with you, particularly on NOAA's jobs. In my state, in Alaska, NOAA does really, really important work. And I've appreciated the Trump administration's executive order on restoring American seafood competitiveness. You know, and I talked to Secretary Lutnick about this, our fishermen often get the raw end of the deal, right? If you're like a farmer, a high-tech Silicon Valley guy, or a Wall Street guy, the American government takes care of you, right? If you're, and you know, those are all important, particularly our farmers, nothing against them. But when you're a fisherman, a lot of times it's like, hey, good luck, right? And so our fishermen don't ask a lot. They ask a few basic things from the federal government: robust fish surveys to inform accurate stock assessments, and the timely promulgation of regulations to open up the fisheries. Right? Unfortunately, NOAA, and this was during Biden for sure, they didn't do stock assessments. They were going on doing all their kind of other stuff. They got a lot of money, but they weren't doing the basic blocking and tackling of stock assessments. How much fish is in certain parts of the ocean, and how much can we fish it, knowing that we want sustainable, environmentally sound fisheries, okay? I've been worried, and when the Deputy Secretary of Commerce was here during his confirmation hearing, I let him know about my concerns that the Trump NOAA guys aren't doing it either. And it's not good, right? You got a basic job to do. So I need your commitment right now, if you get confirmed, and you and I are gonna have a long talk about this when you come see me in my office, but you gotta do this, right? And you can't cut staff who do this work. If you don't do surveys, guess what happens? The great American fishermen that I represent, by the way, my state's the superpower of seafood. Over 2/3 of all seafood harvested in America, commercial, subsistence, sport, 2/3 comes from Alaska. So if and when you get confirmed, you're gonna be spending a lot of time in Alaska. But, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good, okay. But my point is, if you don't do the surveys, then the science is kind of crimped, and people say, well, we're not sure what you can do, and it limits their ability to actually go fish. So I want your view on that. I'm sure Senator Cantwell's already hit you up on it, but this is so important, and I'm a little concerned that the Department of Commerce under Secretary Lutnick is not doing it either, and it's unacceptable. You guys got to commit to me. And don't do like Biden did. They got all this money, and then they never did surveys either. They did all their other stuff. I don't know what the hell they did with the money. But commit to me on this right now, because it's really important. This is going to be a main part of your job. In, first 6 months, I've been really concerned. And gosh darn it, we're not asking a lot. Do the science, do the surveys. During COVID, people were making up, oh, we can't go out, it's too dangerous. No, go do the surveys. Can you talk a little about that and make a commitment to me and my fishermen that you will get out and do the damn surveys, right? It's really, again, we don't ask for much. It's basic blocking and tackling that NOAA is supposed to do. And I don't know why it's a problem right now. It shouldn't be a problem in the Trump administration. I need you to focus on it and commit to me right now to do it.
Thank you for the question. So if confirmed, absolutely. Stock assessments and surveys is a top priority. We wouldn't be competitive in the seafood industry if we don't do those, because understanding, for example, the status of pollock stock is essential for setting the quotas. And I understand and appreciate your concerns, and if confirmed, very, very high priority.
Good. I appreciate that. We have a lot of issues. The bycatch issue is an issue. I was just up on the Yukon River. There's no fishing again on the Yukon. I was up, my wife's family has a fish camp on the Yukon River. There's no king fishing again. We need to get to the bottom of what's happening to our salmon runs. I had legislation, my Alaska Salmon Research Task Force Act, which was passed. NOAA did some good work, but we have some runs in Alaska that are doing great. Bristol Bay, Sockeye Run, other iconic runs in Alaska, King runs on the Yukon, the Kuskokwim. They're cratering, and that really hurts people. More than just food security, it's culture for our native communities. Can you commit to me to continue to work, getting the best science, the best minds on why we're seeing in certain parts of Alaska these dramatic crashes in our salmon runs and why that's happening, and take action to help us return to what everybody in Alaska and America wants, strong, vibrant salmon runs?
Thank you for the question. Absolutely. If confirmed, we'll commit to working on this. This is something that I've been wondering about for a while, because we do fund a lot of this restoration, and a lot of these stocks don't seem to be improving.
Yeah.
And it's deeply concerning.
Well, and there's a gap in the research, right? That's one of the things that, it's a long story, but the salmon live out in the ocean most of their life, but the research from the feds is actually not focused on salmon. Alaska, the state, focuses on salmon research, but within the rivers, not out in the big ocean. We need more research on what's happening to the salmon as they live out in the ocean for most of their lives, and that's where NOAA could be very helpful. Can I get your commitment on that as well?
Yes, definitely commit to working with you on this.
And then finally, and I do want to compliment Secretary Lutnick and his team, President Trump and his team, on their executive order on seafood competitiveness. That was really welcomed. It was a really good EO. We got to work together to implement it. But the other thing I just need your commitment on, and Secretary Lutnick's been great on this, the unfair, unbalanced trade relationship that we have had, particularly with Russia and China. What do I mean? Russia banned the importation of American seafood in 2014. Zero fish from America could go to Russia. And we, for whatever reason, for the last decade, have let them import as much fish as they want. That is crushing our fishermen, fishing communities. Finally, 2 years ago, under the Biden administration, I give them credit, they blocked the importation of Russian seafood. Then the Russians sent it to China to have it laundered in China, and we closed that loophole, right? And the Trump administration, to their credit, has been really good about keeping that ban on the importation of Russian seafood, regardless of where they send it for secondary head gutting and filleting. But I need your commitment to continue to that and work with us. We just had a really good hearing on IUU fishing, where the Chinese, the Russians, they have no standards, they use slave labor. And we need your help to work on those issues as well. Can I get your commitment on those?
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You know, Dr. Jacobs, you have spent decades as a redfish fishing guide on the Atlantic. I do have to ask, in following up my friend Senator Sullivan's questions, have you been salmon fishing in Alaska?
I have.
Good. That was the right answer, and it is extraordinary. I have too.
That was the right answer.
And it is a unique and beautiful place.
Well, maybe when you come up to Alaska, the chairman and I, we can host you for some more fishing out there.
I was looking forward to it.
And since he's a guide, we may do better with him along.
That's right. Good.
Ranking Member Cantwell.
Thank you, Chairman, and I do want to echo my